Hello and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host Josh Size, and I'm gonna jump right into this episode. Devin Haney, normally known as Devin the Dream Haney, the very talented, no longer a prospect but a champion out of the Mayweather boxing gym. Now, Devin Haney fights JoJo Diaz this weekend in a very fascinating matchup. Devin Haney's, I won't say his first true test because, in my opinion, Jorge Linares, while definitely on the way out and someone that I feel doesn't present the stylistic matchup that JoJo Diaz brings, but in terms of experience, ring IQ, it's hard to argue that Jorge Linares doesn't have the same, if not a little more than JoJo Diaz. However, this weekend, Devin Haney is in a clash that's going to determine the future of 135. And I'm actually going to come out here and say something. I'm actually changing Devin Haney's name. He's no longer the dream, in my opinion. He is the nightmare of 135 pounds. Devin Haney presents stylistically one of the most difficult matchups of anyone in the division. In my rankings, I always have Devin Haney and highly tout Devin Haney's boxing ability. I know he hasn't fought the highest quality of opponents. I know him and Teofimo Lopez, the former undisputed champion, jaw back and forth about who's better, etc. Given the fact that they both grew up together, they were in the amateur scene together along with Ryan Garcia. But Devin Haney is a nightmare for the 135 division. I think Devin Haney beats everyone. And this weekend is going to be the first step in that direction. I am not going to speak about Teofimo Lopez right now at the 135-pound division because, one, we don't know what he's going to do. And truthfully, I just don't want to talk about Teo. He lost to George Gambosos, who is the undisputed champion right now for 135 pounds. So logically, given all the narratives, given all the matchroom conversations about Devin Haney potentially getting a shot at 135-pound undisputed status, given the fact that he's the WBC regular champion, and George Gambosos is the undisputed champion in WBC franchise. Devin Haney's going to thoroughly outbox and beat JoJo Diaz. I am not going to sit here and be a hater and say that JoJo is going to get destroyed or pieced up or beat up. No, but I do think that Devin Haney is going to dominate the fight tactically. And I don't think JoJo Diaz is going to be the barometer that people want to see. I think it is a good fight for Devin Haney because, one, we get to see him in with a very elite southpaw. JoJo Diaz, say what you want, but he is an elite fighter. He was a USA boxing Olympian. He was a champion, and he beat very talented fighters and Tevin Farmer. He also beat Javier Fortuna, who honestly his stock was all the way on the rise when he fought JoJo Diaz. He was touted as someone that everybody was ducking. Now, the reason why I call him a nightmare is someone who arguably has the most foot speed, the most defensive ability, truthfully, the longest reach, the tallest, tremendous boxing pedigree, has some of the best sparring in the world. I don't see him losing to JoJo Diaz. You can't spar not Teofimo Lopez, but they have sparred before. You can't spar and have videos out there with Shakur Stevenson, who was a silver medalist, and you see what Shakur is now in terms of talent. You can't have wars with him, Tank, who he also got the best of, according to rumors, and then struggle with JoJo Diaz. I think JoJo is a tough guy. I think he's going to give a great account of himself, but the pressure isn't going to work. Devin's too long. Devin is not going to be like Teofimo Lopez and fight emotionally. He tried that. in his last fight with Linares, where he tried to sit down, bite down in his mouthpiece, and bang a little bit with Linares, and he learned his lesson. And I don't fancy him to do the same, especially with Ben Davison in the corner. And it seems like Mickey Bay and Ben Davison have found more synergy. It seems like they're both on the same page, and they've really invested in his boxing ability first. It's not this, hey, I'm gonna go out there and knock you out. It's not the same kind of energy that Tio brought. It's not going to be the kind of fight that people think it's going to be. I think Devin Haney is going to box him tremendously. He knows how to fight southpaws. He knows how to put pressure in spots. He has a beautiful right hand that JoJo Diaz is going to eat a lot. And JoJo is substantially smaller and has a major reach disadvantage. I know people are going to say, oh, George Gambosos, Teofimo. This isn't that fight. And when you subscribe to the defense first, preserve yourself, don't take punishment, box, win, get your opportunity, don't fumble the bag, don't put the bag on the line for the fans, right? Because as you see, when you lose, the fans jump ship, the fans desert you, they criticize you. I mean, Devin Haney, when he got hurt, that's why people don't do that. That's why they don't put it on the line, because everyone's going to talk about you. And why have the fans alter the way you fight, take you away from your strengths, all for the people that would immediately, the minute you struggle or lose, are going to jump ship. Devin Haney is going to go out there, pin that right to the body when JoJo tries to come in. I love the clips I'm seeing where Devin Haney's using his right arm to actually pin and push back when JoJo tries to get inside and lines up the uppercut and the right hook. I love what I'm seeing from Devin. And Devin's going to move. He's going to do what he has to do to win. If he has to hold, be physical, he can. I think people are under the impression that Devin Haney's not a talented fighter. Yeah, he got rocked by Linares, but Loma got dropped by Linares, right? Linares has been in wars with a lot of people. He dropped Luke Campbell. He's a tremendous fighter. I think Devin, though, right now he knows what's at stake. He's going to play it as safe as he can and win a comfortable, and I mean comfortable, decision. I'm not going to sit here and say that JoJo won't land a punch or two, may get inside, make it ugly, right? Make it a dog fight. But you got to realize when you fight a master boxer, you cannot dog him out. I'm sorry, not someone like Devin. The dog isn't going to beat someone that's trying to box. A dog isn't going to beat a Ben Davison style. Look what happened to Jose Ramirez. You try to put pressure, you have to box. You have to create hesitancy. You have to create havoc with the style of Devin Haney. Similar to Floyd Mayweather, the guys that gave him the most issues. Maidana was a whirlwind, yes. He was a dog, but he needed the polish that he got from Robert Garcia, that jab. He needed boxing skills in order to make it happen. JoJo Diaz doesn't have one-punch power, in my opinion, at 135 yet. I don't see him hurting Devin Haney. I just don't see it. But the reason why I call Devin Haney the nightmare is after this fight, clearly they're going to try to make the Haney Gambosos for undisputed. He's going to destroy Gambosos. He's not going to go out there and try to knock Gambosos out. He's going to outbox him and just outfox him. Gambosos doesn't have power. You saw that. Yeah, he dropped Teofimo, but it was a flash knockdown, bad feet, etc. Gambosos didn't knock out Mickey Bay. He didn't knock out Lee Selby. And Devin Haney, when you talk about boxing ability, is a level above. And when you look at the matchups across, Tio, he gives him issues because he can move. I've always said that I'm the most scared of Devin Haney because I can see Devin Haney sticking the jab, landing a jab, tying up or moving back, running around the ring, land the overhand right, move, make it an ugly fight. And I would fancy Tio to win because that's my pick and I like him. But Devin Haney undeniably is a very good fighter. Brian Garcia, believe it or not, probably is Devin Haney's most difficult challenge because one, they've fought, I think, 5 times or 4 times. So they're familiar with each other. I also think that Devin Haney would probably get the job done, but who knows? That left hook is serious. And if he develops the right hand, gets his mind right, uses his reach, Ryan Garcia could beat anybody on any given day. And I know people are big on the fact that he's a mental case and is not taking things as serious as he could. But Ryan Garcia probably is Devin Haney's hardest matchup because Tank, in my opinion, has the punch, but Devin Haney has such a substantial reach. Again, they're familiar with each other, and Devin Haney will move around all day, and I just can't see Tank getting inside. So Devin Haney undeniably is the nightmare of the 135 division and will be undisputed champion. But first, he is going to have to take care of JoJo Diaz. I just don't see anybody beating Devin Haney at 135. Loma, we don't know what Loma's doing, and I doubt Bob Arum and Top Rank are going to work with Matchroom, especially after some of the stuff that transpired. I know Bob Arum and Matchroom, they just don't get along, and I don't expect them to get along anytime soon. So that's the episode for today. Let me know if you guys think and agree that Devin Haney is undeniably going to be the undisputed champion, because I know everyone's touting George Gambosos, but he gets outboxed by everyone in the division. Even if Tio comes back in a rematch, he'll get outboxed. Let him enjoy his victory. And I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't deserve it, because he does. But Devin Haney is different in terms of mentality. He knows what he is. He knows his identity, and he's going to do exactly what he's going to set out to do. He's going to beat JoJo Diaz, and then go after Gambosos and be undisputed. It's undeniable at this point, unless Tank Davis gets the WBA to mandate Gambosos to fight him. But who knows with these sanctioning bodies, what's going to happen. So, sorry, a dog hair. I look forward to this weekend. Truthfully, there's nothing else to be said. I just want to see a good show. And Devin Haney, just handle your business, man. Don't get caught up in the BS. And I expect it to be fantastic.